Hello. In section C, where we're looking at the refugee law and international refugee law, in this section we're looking very much at the rights of asylum seekers and the rights of refugees, i.e. individuals who've claimed asylum and have been accorded a refugee status, and also we're looking at what may be termed durable solutions. Because it's always important to remember too that refugee status was granted or is granted essentially as a temporary measure. It's not really meant to be permanent. It's meant to be a temporary measure to take account of the absence of state protection, the state protection from where the individual has come, either because the state is not able or is unwilling to afford protection. However, initially, what do we mean by what rights do asylum seekers have? Well, we look at the legal framework, we look at the obligations that are on states, and we look at what an individual should be accorded when moving through the process before his or her application is actually dealt with. And then we look at the standard of treatment, and these rights are articulated in the Refugee Convention in 1951. These rights that are set out as to, the right to work, the right to housing, the right to take part in the everyday life of the host country. These rights are set out, but these, of course, rights very often are minimum standards. And we also look at what are the essential needs of individuals who have been deemed worthy of refugee status or eligible of refugee status to vis-a-vis the treaty standard, and to what extent contracting parties give effect to these treaty rights. And then we consider the issue of durable solution. What do we mean by durable solution? Is it return to the country from which the individual has come? Or is it reception into the country, the host country, into which the individual has come? We also look at the development of assistance programs for refugees. So section C covers a variety of issues, but although it's a variety of issues, they're all related by one theme, namely the treatment that should be accorded to individuals as they enter the process, namely seeking asylum and being granted refugee status. And it is worthwhile also saying that, of course, although we make particular reference to the Refugee Convention in 1951, that states may accord refugee status to anyone whom they wish for certain reasons. They may just decide that an individual should be afforded the right to remain in a particular country. But we are focusing primarily on the Refugee Convention and the rights that are spelt out in there and that should flow from that convention and should be seen and realized in the life of those who have been given refugee status. These are the issues which are discussed in section C.